everybody, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make the mirror bracelet. This was designed by Looming Cyrus on Instagram, and I will bring up his profile in just a second. So here we are, Looming Cyrus, and this is his profile. He has some pretty cool bracelets, and I do like his color combos and stuff. And I've done tutorials for him before, so definitely make sure to check him out on Instagram. Give him a follow for me, and I'll also have his name in the description box below, so you can check that out as well. And to make this bracelet today, you're going to need 5 bar pins in this stagger configuration. You're also going to need a hook, a C-clip, and probably like 3 colors of bands. If you want to use 4, you can. I'm going to use 3 today though. And this is the front side, the signature side, and then this is the back side. So I definitely like the front side better. I think it looks really nice. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and start this, and I'll tell you the colors that I'm using as I use them. So first we're going to be placing the border, which in here is this pumpkin glow or something, Halloween bands. I'm going to use passion glow for this. So first you're going to just make a simple border by going from this first peg out to the left, and then out to the right, and then another one to the very outside. And then you're going to do 2 single chains on the sides running until you reach the third to last peg, and then you're going to go into the center. So it is a pretty simple border, and it's pretty simple to place also. But the looping is kind of where it gets confusing, so make sure to pay attention. So once I'm here, I'm just going to go, I'm going to try to go into the center twice. And you're also going to want to push down your bands a little bit. I just didn't do it for the border because I just lay them all and then I push them down. But once you've done that, now we're going to be placing these bands here, which are zigzags, and I'm going to be using white for this. In this bracelet, it's the neon green. So all you're going to do is, starting from this leftmost peg, you're going to go into the center, and then back out, then again into the center, and back out, and you're just going to do a zigzag all the way down your loom. Also, for a whole wrap on this, I think I went 11 starbursts, so I can't remember how many pegs long that is, but I went 11 starbursts. So if you're making a full wrap and you want to do that, it fits my wrist pretty well. It's even a little bit loose. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and push these zigzags down and then come back to the beginning, and I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so now that I've reached this, I'm going to go ahead and push these down again. And then I'm going to come back to the beginning and I'm going to place my last bands, which in here, or not my last band, sorry, my next color bands, which is the starburst. So I'm going to use turquoise jelly for this. I think it'll look nice with the Halloween bands. So anyway, what you're going to do is starting from this center peg, you're going to go out to the side and you're just going to place a regular starburst, starting at the 2 o'clock position and then going down to the 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 12. You always want to end with this one going forward, this 12th one, and then you're just going to do this down your loom again. So again, going here, starting at 2, 4, you want the 6 to connect like this, and 8, oops, make sure to push your bands down, 10, and 12. And by the way, you are not placing any cap bands on these starbursts. It's specifically made without cap bands, just so you know. Okay, now that I have that over with, I'm going to finish the rest of these starbursts. And I'm going to go ahead and place my last starburst. Okay, and now that I've done that, I'm going to be done with my turquoise bands. We're going to come back to the beginning and place our very last band, which I'm going to use Passion Glow for, and it's these single chains in here. So, like I said, I'm going to use this, and you're just going to do a single chain on this peg and on this peg, and you're going to go straight down your loom. Push your bands down a little bit. I'm going to do the same on the left side. Okay. Now once I finish that, I'm going to place a cap band, just a regular cap band, on this end peg here. And then I'm going to turn my loom around, arrows are now pointing towards me, and we're going to start the looping process. So get your hook, and we're first going to be looping the single chains that go in here, which is these. So what you're going to do is, you have to place a triple cap band on here and on here. I forgot about that. So, triple capping a band, placing it here. If you want to use a double cap band, you can. I just like to use triple cap bands so that they don't show as much, because in this bracelet you can't really tell that there's a triple cap band at all, but they're right here. So I just think it looks good if it's all hidden and stuff. So anyway, once you have those triple caps placed, now we're going to just simply loop up the single chain. So go underneath of that cap band, grab the top band and pull it up, and keep doing this all the way down your loom. Alright, and then once you reach the top, you're just going to want to push these down a little bit. Try not to have twisted bands if you can. I'm going to do the other side now, and then I'll show you what to do next. The first part of these looping processes is pretty easy. It's just the kind of last-ish part that gets a little bit confusing. So again, looping the last one up to the top and just pushing these bands down. Now we're going to loop the starbursts that are in the center. So going underneath of this cap band, grabbing the top band, pulling it straight forward, then go underneath and grab the top band and pull it back to itself, and then this back to itself, and just pulling each of the top bands back to themselves. So now it will look like this, and then you're going to go inside of this peg here, grab that turquoise band, pull it forward, and then repeat this process. It's just like a regular starburst bracelet without the cap bands on the center. There should only be 6 starbursts in total if you're doing a 1 loom length long. If there's any less or any more, then I'm not sure what's going on. But if you have more than 1 loom length long, obviously you're going to have more starbursts. So this last one too is just normal. Then the last looping part before we get to the difficult stuff is going to just be looping out these zigzags to themselves. So going underneath of here, grabbing that band, pulling it out, grabbing this band, pulling it out. Here, grab this, pull it out, and this, pull it out. And so you're just going to do this all the way down your loom, and the difficult part will come next. I guess it's not like super difficult, but it's tricky to say the least. So yeah, we're gonna do that next. Okay, you might want to push these bands down a little bit so that you have room for the border bands. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so now that I've finished that, I'm just going to quickly push these down as well. And then come back to the beginning of the loom. And now we're going to be doing the last looping process, which can get a little confusing, like I've said before. So go underneath of this cap band, grab the top band, loop it back to itself, then grab the next band, loop it back to itself, then grab this, loop it back to itself, and this, loop it back to itself. Now that's where it kind of stops being super simple. So then what you're going to do is find these 2 white bands here, and you're going to find the bottom one, and you're going to loop it up and over. Again, over here, find the bottom white band, and from the outside you're going to grab that bottom white and loop it up and over. Then you're going to go inside of here, grab that border band and pull it straight up on itself, and same here, straight up to itself. Then you will have 4 bands. You can see the top 2 and the bottom 2. You're going to want to grab the bottom 2 from the outside and you're going to pull them up and over. And you want to make sure that you do this when your border band is looped up. And here, do the same thing, grab the bottom 2 from the outside, loop it up and over. You will always want to loop your border band straight forward after you finish looping this up and over. And so I'm going to do this, just grab the bottom 2, loop it up. So once you get the process and the hang of it, it should be pretty easy. Just grab that border band, loop it up, grab the bottom 2, loop it over. So I'm going to finish doing the left side first, then I'll do the right side, and then I'll show you how to finish it. Okay, so my bands for this peg are not being nice. Oops. Make sure that you are grabbing the bottom 2, not just any 2. Alright, and then looping that last one up. Then you're going to have just 2 bands here. You're going to grab that bottom one and loop it over. So I'm going to repeat the process on this side. I'm actually going to have to turn my loom a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Ooh, ow. Oops. Your band comes undone, that's why you probably want to have your bands pushed down. Alright, and then the last one looped up. Then all you have to do is pull these 2 in and, come on, in, and then take this one, pull it in, and in. So now it's all at the top. I'm going to take this bottom cap band off, grab an extension band, pull it through, and now I'm going to pull this off. It should be fairly easy to pull off. I don't think there should be very much stress on your bands. The starbursts should pop right off. The border bands would probably be the most difficult with the amount of bands that are on them, but even then it's not even that difficult. So this is what it should look like when you're finished. I'm pretty happy with how mine came out. And if you want, you can see these bands might not be like straight or they're twisted or something, so you can always straighten those out. You can pull this out to the side, you can pull it up and down, and then of course this is the back side, but I definitely like this side the best. So that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Looming Cyrus's name in the description box below, so make sure to check him out. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope to see you next time.